Hey everybody, welcome back to Wild Nebo Garage. Today's video is going over the specs on my 1994 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD. I did some research on this truck specifically because it's a unique truck. They only built them from 1991 to 2001. In 2002 they switched to the C4500 HD, which is considered a 1.5 ton truck. And while the insurance companies and the specs indicate this is a GMT 400, I think they did that to keep the cost down because it's not a one-ton truck. It's definitely a lot heavier than that. So the HDs were considered what they call a GMT 455 series, and I'll let you in on some secrets about that series. So like I was saying, they started building these in Janesville, Wisconsin in 1991. GM needed an intermediate truck to span the difference between the 3500 and the larger commercial trucks. Although this one was offered only in the commercial, to the commercial industry, obviously it became available to DIY users as myself as the years went on. This particular truck has been outfitted with a Drivetrain aluminum bed. The bed is capable of 12,000 pound capacity weight, but the truck is advertised as 8,000 to 9,300 if my memory serves me right. So yeah, this truck has some problems. Drivetrain won't even put beds. Like if you wanted to put a new bed on this truck, they won't do it because they consider it too light duty. You'll never find this truck in a four-wheel drive version other than possibly an aftermarket version. GM did not offer it as a four-wheel drive. There's three different wheelbases: a 135.5, a 159.5, and a 183.5 wheelbase. My truck has actually been stretched to 198 inches to accommodate the 19.5 foot Drivetrain bed. This truck is offered a 4-speed. They called it NV4500. It was a joint venture between GM and Chrysler. And one thing specific to this transmission that you should know if you're going to service it, it has to have 75 weight 90 synthetic oil because of the synchros in there are very susceptible to the wrong oils. Castor oil, Nader oil for this truck that is no longer available or very hard to find, and it is expensive. So the alternative is Amsoil has a 75 weight 90 oil. It's a synthetic oil for manual transmissions, and that is the only oil you can use in this transmission, and it takes 4 quarts. This truck came with 4-wheel disc brakes. The front rotors are 14.25 in diameter, and the rears are 13 and 0.75. Had to go to my notes there. And it's got a unique brake, emergency brake, in that it's a prop shaft brake. They call it a 9x3 prop shaft brake, and it works very well. So if you want to service the differential, it'll take 5 quarts of oil. It's 35 weight 90 synthetic oil. Again, Amsoil is my best suggestion for that. And it doesn't have a gasket. You use RTV for the gasket. Torque the bolts down to 30 foot-pounds, and you have to allow that to seal or set up for 24 hours, and then you put in 5 quarts of that oil. Now, the rear end has 11-inch ring gear, and because it's a GMT 455, it has heavier axle shafts. So all units had this 4-inch filler plate to accommodate the cab sitting on the frame. There was a lot of speculation of why that was there, for increased cooling. One of the unique features too of this truck is a lot of them have, of course, similars on the wheels, but the front wheels only have 5 lugs while the rear wheels have 10. So one would ask, how do you get aftermarket tires or wheels on this thing? And what I found out is the 7.25 bolt pattern is the same as a GM 10 bolt pattern. You put 10 bolts on the back, of course, and just put the 10 bolt in front, and you just have 5 lugs. You can still use them, but it might look a little funny. All these trucks came with a 19 by 32 to an 1/8 inch thick radiator. They all had power steering. They all were produced with Goodyear tires, 2.75 by R70, I believe, 19.5 inches in diameter. And the F-rated tires, if that means anything to you. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the introduction to 3500 True HD, and I'll put the references from what I found down in the description box. There's a couple videos and 2 websites that I got this information from. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a real fun truck to work on. A little bit hard finding parts for it, but so far so good. Been able to resource those parts either on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Got the front end looking good. It's time to go to work on the rear end and get this bed working properly. It works, but we've got some issues. Save that for another video. We'll see you all later. Thanks for coming in.